Good morning all. Today we are going to discuss about magnetic materials in Unit 4. So we have seen magnets in our day-to-day life, right? So let me discuss about what are the applications of magnetic materials in the day-to-day life. Then we go in depth, right? So this is the application of magnetic material. The magnets which are used in electrical meters, motors, computers, tape recorders, NMR, that is nuclear magnetic resonance, particle accelerator, dynamos, transformers, telephones, television. So these are what the application of magnetic material. Now here we're going to see what are the basic terms and what are how the magnet has been formed and what are the application which is involved with it. The first thing will be magnetic dipole movement. As we studied in our +2 years, right? What is magnetic dipole? It is nothing but two equivalent opposite poles separated by a small distance d. The poles which is separated by a small distance d is known as magnetic dipole moment. That is M is equal to capital M is equal to small m into L. Magnetic flux, that is phi. It is defined as total number of magnetic flux lines passing through the surface. The unit of it will be Weber. Magnetic flux density or magnetic induction would be the total number of magnetic flux lines passing through the unit of cross section area. The expression will be B is equal to phi by A. Magnetic field intensity, it is force defined as force experienced by the magnetic pole strength to the material. It is nothing but the how much amount of it magnetized to the material, that is called magnetic intensity. Intensity of magnetization is nothing but the ratio of magnetic dipole moment per unit volume of the material is called intensity of magnetization. Magnetic susceptibility, it is nothing but the ratio of intensity of magnetization to the magnetic field intensity, that is chi equal to capital I divided by H. And next thing will be magnetic permeability. It is nothing but the ratio of magnetic induction to the magnetic field intensity, that is mu is equal to B divided by H. So this is what the relation which gives susceptibility and permeability. So the origin of the magnetic momentum, magnetic momentum originates from an orbital motion and spin motion of an electron in an atom, which is evolving around the nucleus. Here we are going to see about domain theory of we have different types of magnetic materials, that will be dia, para and ferromagnetic materials. In this, the very important question will be domain theory and ferromagnetic material. What is domain? Domain is nothing but a very small region which is present inside the material, which atoms are oriented in a particular direction. It is nothing but a number of lines has been oriented in a material. When we give a magnetic field, it is oriented in a particular, that is called a domain. So this is what a domain which is arranged in a particular direction. So this is what this is an outer view of a ferromagnetic material. So this is what an inner view of a material in which the domains are randomly arranged. When we give the magnetic field, the domains which is getting aligned in a particular direction. Here you can see the domains which are randomly arranged. When you apply magnetic field, it has been arranged in a particular direction. So there are two phenomena which will take place in a domain theory of ferromagnetism, which will be moment of domain wall and rotation of domain wall. So we are going to see moment and rotation of a domain wall. So we are just applying a magnetic field in the material. You can see the space which has been occupied and it came here, right? When you give more amount of energy, it will be rotated and it will come to a particular direction. So there are different types of energy which were involved in a magnetic domain theory. It will be magnetostatic, exchange energy, crystal anisotropic energy, magnetostrictive, domain wall energy. So the magnetostatic energy is nothing but energy passed by the ferromagnetic material in the absence of external magnetic field. So this energy is nothing but when there is no external energy, it will possess some energy, that is called magnetostatic energy. And exchange is nothing but adjacent dipole to align themselves in a particular direction. As we seen earlier, when you apply energy, the domains will be arranged in a particular direction. So adjacent dipoles to align themselves. So exchange energy is nothing but when you apply magnetic field, it will be keep on vice versa. You can see A, when you apply energy, it will be getting exchange from A to B. You can see it has been getting exchanging. So that is called exchange energy. Crystal anisotropy is nothing but the crystal direction. As we seen in the crystal physics, there are different types of planes, Miller indices, which are usually in direction. So this 100, it is an easy direction. 110 plane is an medium direction. 110, it is an hard direction of energy, which is given in a magnetic material. Crystal anisotropic. So this is nothing but in the magnetic field, which is given, the energy which is given in the graph. So back-restrictive energy is nothing but energy required to change the length or size of the domain by applying external field. So when there is a change in domain length or size, that is called magnetic-restrictive energy. So this is what the change has been occurred in a material when you apply a magnetic-restrictive energy. So domain energy is nothing but when the domain wall is placed, the domains has been arranged in a particular direction. It is getting vice versa, right? So you can see it has been getting rotated. So figure A shows it has been arranged in a particular direction. When you apply energy, it will be rotated and it goes to the opposite direction, right? So these are what the